Welcome to the Oracle of Light podcast. I am your host, Shauna Domalain. For those of you who don't know me, I am a spiritual medium, death and grief expert. I have a private practice here in beautiful Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and I send a warm welcome to everyone who is joining me today. So I invite you to grab a coffee or a tea, anything that you would like so that you can step into these energies and receive from them. I'm also a Reiki master, so I work energetically. So just as we settle into this space together, just allow your energy to start to relax. And just as I'm saying that, your energy is already doing it. And then from this space, I invite you to just allow your energy to expand out. Just expand into the room that you're sitting in. Expand out into your neighborhood, your city, your town, all the way out into the country that you live in. And just as I'm saying this, your energy is doing it. Just allow your energy to expand out to the size of the earth. Allow your energy to expand out into all of you that is available at this time. For some of you, you may expand out into the universe and different galaxies, and that's perfect. Just know that your energy is going to expand out to what is perfect for you in this moment. I like to explain to people how spirit communication works. Spirit energy is a faster energy, and it's a subtle energy. So if you are busy and you are really sitting in heavy grief, then it's a little more difficult to experience our loved ones from the other side. So what I love to help people understand is I'm very visual, so I always give visual explanations and examples. So if you imagine how quickly the light in the room illuminates when you flick the light on, when you flick that switch, that's how fast spirit energy moves. That's how quickly your child's energy on the other side is moving. That's how quickly your loved ones on the other side's energy is moving. And so this isn't just for anyone who has lost a child, although this episode is all about how to ask your child for signs from the other side and how to receive them and what that looks like. You can apply these same principles and techniques to any loved one. Fur babies on the other side. I have fur babies on the other side. I have lost grandparents. I've lost loved ones, partners, friends, acquaintances, relatives, aunts, uncles, cousins, you name it. I have had several losses in my lifetime, as I'm sure you have as well. So when we want to receive that sign from our child on the other side, the first place I invite you to be is open and available. If we are not open and available to the possibility, it's just not going to happen. And by being open and available, I mean you don't need to have any specific belief around spirit communication. I grew up Catholic, so I understand the religious standpoint, and I understand many of the different religions in the world. I've studied several of them, so that I could gain a greater understanding as to what that looks like for people. And from my perspective, spirituality is first and foremost connecting with our spirit, our authentic self. And everyone can do that. This is not religious. This just is. When you connect into your spirit, you are connecting into all the universal energies that are available to each and every one of us. And I work energetically as well. So as we are sharing this space, any energies that are coming up that are ready to be cleared, we're just going to clear those. And it's always with ease and grace. We are welcoming in all of the spirit helpers, the angels, benevolent energies, and of course all the loved ones are here. Oh my goodness, the loved ones are in the house. The loved ones are in the house. always tell people you don't need to be a medium to connect with your loved ones on the other side. You don't need to go see a medium to connect with your loved ones on the other side. Oftentimes we are so close to it that we're not able to get that bird's eye view to experience them, to be able to open our energies up, to be open and available to those energies flowing into our world with ease and grace. I remember the first time I received a heart rock from my son Jack on the other side. Jack would have been 8 this year if he had come through to the physical. And I know firsthand what it feels like to grieve. I know firsthand, I was in shock for years. I couldn't even fathom how to start, how to even touch it, how to even look at it. I thought, if I delve any further into this, it's just going to break me, and I'm not going to be able to get past it. It's just not going to get better, and I don't know. And I literally became stuck. And when our energy becomes stuck like that at a lower frequency, a lower vibration, it's very difficult for us to experience the spirit world. As I mentioned earlier, the spirit energy is subtle. It's very subtle. So if we're busy in our mind, if we're busy checking our list off and we're getting things done and we're doing this and we're doing that, we're kind of all over the place, we're not here present, available for spirit to connect with us. And so I don't know if you've noticed the shift, but I have. That your energies are just calming and they are aligning, and we are just sharing this sacred space. So in this sacred space, I invite you to just think of a child that you've lost, your child on the other side. Perhaps it was through miscarriage or an illness or a traumatic crossing over, whatever that looks like. From this space, I invite you to just think of your child on the other side, and just knowing that they're here with you in this energy. Oh my goodness, can you feel that? And if you can't, in this moment, that's okay. That just means that we need a little bit more practice. That's all that is. And sometimes our grief, it's like a hot air balloon. Our grief can lower our vibration and our frequency and keep it too low for us to experience the spirit world. Again, the spirit world is moving quick, it's fast, it's up here. And if our energy is down here, it's a little more challenging for us to make that connection. And if you'd like to learn a step-by-step process that teaches you how to connect with your child on the other side, I invite you to check out my website, livealifeyoulove.org, spelled out just as it sounds. And I take you through a step-by-step process that will show you how to make that connection with your child on the other side, how to communicate, what that looks like. So exciting. So when we're asking our child for signs, it's really important to not have any expectations. By that I mean, some people want to see something. Some people want they want a specific sign, and they're not going to give up until they get that sign. I invite you to be open to the possibilities of whatever that's going to look like. For example, my grandfather, he always leaves dimes. So I have a jar full of dimes, and I find them in the craziest places. And every time I find one, I just feel that little piece in my heart go, thank you, thank you. I have another loved one who sends dragonflies. I find dragonflies everywhere, and they will often bomb me in my face. And that's his personality. That's my loved one's personality. He's just funny and sarcastic and just larger than life. And so whenever I see a dragonfly coming at me, I know that that's my loved one on the other side. So these signs can show up in a myriad of different ways. I invite you to step into a hopeful, excited, playful energy, and that will raise your frequency, that will raise your vibration. And just know that as we grieve the loss of a loved one, there's a heartache that goes along with that. And for a mother who's lost a child, I know firsthand that there's always a little something there. I've done extensive work to heal and and shift and make that connection with my son on the other side. And so I know what that feels like. I know how debilitating that can be. I also know how magical it is when you make that connection and you know that that child is safe on the other side. You know that you can connect with them at any time. You know that the connection is real and that they are still very much a part of your life. I'm not sure who needs to hear that, but your child is still a part of your life. That connection is always there. That love never dies. Never. They're just not in their physical form. So, what I like to do is whenever I go out, I always find heart rocks either down by the river, or it's usually down by the river. There was a hike that I was on a couple of months ago, and on the drive out, I ask for a sign from my son, Jack. I know that the sign from him is heart rocks, so I will ask, Jack, bring me a heart rock today. I would really love to find a heart rock. And sometimes it feels like a little bit of a scavenger hunt. Like I don't know where they are. Sometimes I'm down by the river. Sometimes I'm going into these little places down by the river where I don't think I'm going to ever get out of, or I'm going to slip and fall into the river or something crazy. But I always find that heart rock, and I'm always open to the possibility of wherever it's going to be, whatever it's going to look like. And so I was going for a hike, and it's in this beautiful place. It's called Bragg Creek. It's about a half-hour drive outside the city here in Calgary. And it is just so beautiful and serene and just absolutely amazing. So I was going out for my hike, and before I left, I said, Jack, I'd really love a heart rock today. Bring me a heart rock. And no word of a lie, I found 15 that day. It was so funny. They were all in the ground. Like they weren't heart rocks that I could pick up and bring with me. They were all in the ground. It was the most amazing experience. And so I kept taking pictures of them. I'd take a picture and then I would find another one and I would take a picture. And every time I find a heart rock to this day, it's like a little piece of love from my Jack. I just instantly feel it in my heart. Thank you. More, please. Thank you, thank you, thank you. More, please. Gratitude and more, please. Thank you. The universe is so vast and miraculous. And when we connect into gratitude, even if we don't feel that grateful about things in the moment, when we connect into gratitude, we are raising our vibration. So a very simple practice is to be grateful for 3 things every day. I write down 3 things every night before I go to sleep, and then I'm marinating in that amazing, beautiful energy as I'm sleeping. I do it throughout the day as well. This morning it was, oh, thank you for this amazing coffee. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Other times it's, thank you for an incredible, incredible sunset. There was the most spectacular sunset I think I've ever seen. I was driving home and I was coming down this hill, and as I came over the hill, it's like the sky was lit up in streams of orange and red, and it was like the sky was lit on fire. It was so spectacular. And I pulled over to try and take a picture, and it just does not do it justice. And you know those moments in time where it's like your eyes just can't open big enough to take in the beauty of whatever it is? That's what I felt in that moment. And that's what it feels like when I find heart rocks from Jack. It's like my senses can't open big enough to receive all the love that I feel from him from the other side. And my hope, my wish is that each and every one of you listening or watching this will be able to experience a sign from your child on the other side. So, yes, I ask. And I know what the sign is. So if you don't know what the signs are from your child on the other side are just yet, start asking. Okay, I would really love a sign today. Please give me a sign today. And there's no desperation energy. There isn't any doubt. I invite you to be in a playful energy with it. Just, okay, I wonder what it is. Just stay in that hopeful energy. I wonder what that sign is. I wonder where it's going to show up. I wonder. And Don't stay fixated on it. Don't be, where is it? Is it over there? Is it over there? Because if we stay in that energy, looking for it, searching for it, looking for it, searching for it, we're pushing it away. We want to magnetize that in. We want to trust and know that the universe heard us, our child heard us, and there's going to be a sign that's going to show up. A sign, a symbol, whatever it looks like. For me, again, they're heart rocks. And I have so many of them, and they vary in size. Some of them are just this perfect little heart. Some of them are little tiny, tiny hearts. The one that I found recently is huge. It's like a boulder. And I just kept hearing this giggling. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. I thought, where the heck am I going? And then I heard, stop! It's my son, Jack. And my gifts work a little bit differently because this is my calling. And I looked down and there it was. And all I could hear was his laughter. And he's running around and he was so excited. He was jumping up and down. You found it, you found it, you found it, you found it. That's how much I love you. That's how much I love you. And so as soon as I picked it up and I held it, oh, I could feel that love from him. And that's how magical it is when we have those signs from our loved ones. Signs can appear in a myriad of different ways. So for me, they're heart rocks. They could be for you too. Dragonflies, butterflies, hummingbirds, all sorts of different birds, hawks and crows and eagles, crickets. I'm thinking of all the different readings I've done over the years, all the signs that come through from loved ones, cigarette smoke. You know, I would know my grandfather was near because I would smell smoke. And I don't smoke, and neither does anyone in my family. So smoke, pipe, the smell of a pipe or a cigar. Perfume, I'll smell my grandmother's perfume. Baking, if you have a loved one who loved to bake, maybe you'll smell baking. With children, balloons, bubbles. They love dragonflies and butterflies and ladybugs. One gal that I read for years ago, it was little fire trucks. It was fire trucks. So she would find these little fire trucks in the strangest places. Like she would be out somewhere and someone would say, oh, look at all these little fire trucks. And there would be like a bin full of just little red fire trucks. She saw fire trucks everywhere. She would turn on the TV and there would be fire trucks. She would turn on the radio and there would be an ad and there would be fire trucks and talking about going to a fire, and it was crazy. They were in her dreams. It was so much fun. And then someone came over one day and they said, she had other small children, and they said, you know, I've got these toys we don't need anymore. Would your child, you know, your children, would they like these? And of course there were red fire trucks. And so just being open and available to whatever that's going to look like. Now her son that I crossed, his favorite toy were fire trucks. So he found a way to infuse that into her world. So she knew it was him. So she has this little collection of fire trucks now. That's her son. That's from him. That's her boy. So just being open. I didn't say at first, I want a heart rock. It needs to be a heart rock. I just said, I would really love a sign from my son, Jack. I would really love a sign. And I stayed in that playful energy. I thought, I wonder what it'll be. I wonder what it'll be. Maybe today I'll get the sign. Okay. Maybe tomorrow. Okay. And I kept asking, what will it take for me to receive a sign? What will it take? What will it take? When we say that, what will it take? I like to refer to it as leaving a door open, leaving a gateway open for the universal energies to come into our life. When we stay in question, we are inviting those universal energies to come in and play with us. Because we have free will, they're literally waiting in the wings to be invited into our world. So yes, we all have a guardian angel. We all have an angelic spiritual team, and that varies from person to person. I'm angelic, so I work very closely with the angelic realm. Archangel Michael, Archangel Jophiel, Archangel Zadkiel, Archangel Haniel, all the archangels, Archangel Jophiel, they all want to be a part of this. Archangel Raphael, Archangel Uriel, all of the archangels that are here. And so anytime that you are listening or watching, you will be bathing in their energy. There are so many different spirit guides that are available to each and every one of us. And again, this is being open and available to the possibility and starting to play and starting to question and starting to be curious as to what that looks like. I have crossover loved ones that are part of my spiritual team. I have benevolent energies. I have all sorts of different energies and beings of light that are part of my spiritual team. I have my masters. My masters I worked with from the Akashic Records. There are so many universal energies that are just waiting for the invitation to come into your heart, into your world, to help weave magic. When I was grieving Jack, I had different guides that came in to help me with my healing, to help me with my grief. I started to say, one of my favorite sayings is from Marie Forleo. She says, everything is figure-outable. And I started to say that, everything is figure-outable. We're going to figure this out. I'm going to figure this out. There has to be a better way. There has to be a way for me to heal and move through this and understand it and to start to let it go. So I can live my best life. I can create a life that I love, knowing that my son is safe, knowing that I can connect with him at any time. So be open to whatever the signs look like. Sometimes the signs are music. Sometimes it'll be a song that starts playing in your head. Do you ever have that happen? I do. It's a song that plays in your head. And, you could turn the TV on and that song is playing. Someone will be, in line at Costco ahead of you and they start talking about that sign. You go to the gym and that song is playing. You turn the radio on and that song is there. You're flipping through YouTube or Instagram and you hear that song. That's how spirit works. So there could be a song, there could be cloud formations. Do you ever see cloud formations? You look up and it's in the shape of a heart, or it looks like a face. Could be in the clouds. It could be rainbows. It could be in your dreams. Your child may visit you in your dreams. I know Jack does. He did, oh my gosh, all the time. I would have dreams of him all the time. I would wake up and it was like he was right there in the room with me. It was so real. So you can have dreams, you can have visitations where you're going about your day and all of a sudden it feels like your child is in the room with you. You start thinking of them and it's like they're there. So just staying open. Sometimes the signs from our children are pennies or nickels or dimes, quarters, feathers. Feathers are another huge sign. I'll oftentimes ask for a feather. I'd really like a feather today. I'd love to see a feather today. And it can show up in so many different ways. There was a feather that just floated from the sky as I sat in my meditation one day in the yard. There's no one else around. This feather just floated down and landed in front of me. The other day I was making eggs and the eggs cracked in the shape of a feather. I have found feathers in the strangest places. There was one in the sink. The cat had one on his head. There was a client that came to see me and she had feather earrings. There was another client that came to see me and she had a feather on her shirt. Another client came in and she had a feather on her bracelet. So feathers can show up in a myriad of different ways. There was a book cover once. I went to go pick up a different book at Chapters and there was this book that just was like just screaming at me and it had feathers on the front of it. There was a scarf. There was a woman that was standing in line at Safeway, I think it was, and her scarf that she was wearing had feathers all over it. So I will ask, show me, I'd like a feather today. I'd really love to receive a feather. And then stay open to how that looks. Not, I will only receive a feather and it has to look like this. It was, okay, I'd like to see a feather today. And when it happens, thank you, more please. Gratitude, 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 gratitude. So from this space, I invite you to place your hand over your heart. And as you breathe in to the count of 5, and release for the count of 5, and continue to do that. This will balance your heart's electromagnetic field and your brain. and it just instantly starts to relax your energy. So as you're sitting here in this energy, just allow yourself to relax. Yeah. And as you allow yourself to relax, just all the lower vibrations, the lower emotions will just start to shift and just start to release. Do you feel that? And then your vibration will get higher. And this doesn't erase the pain that we feel. This doesn't erase what we've experienced with our losses. This helps us to let go. It'll help us let go a little bit more every time. There's still times to this day where I get a little choked up. I'll see a little boy that's 8. There's a little boy that ran up to me. We were out in the mountains, and there's this little boy that just kept running around and running around and running around. And every time he'd run around, he'd say hi. And I'd say hi. And he would run around again, hi, hi. He kept doing this. He did it about 8 or 9 times. And then the last time, he just stopped right in front of me. And he looked exactly like my son, Jack. I just froze and I looked at him. And I always joke and I say, I count the freckles on Jack's nose every time he comes in to see me. And this little guy said, do you want to know how many freckles I have on my nose? And I said, how many? He said, too many to count. Ha! And he ran off. So spirit, once we invite them in, just being open and available to what that can look like, they will move different people into your world. You will overhear conversations. You will receive guidance and clarity like you've never received before. You will be able to tune into your intuition a little bit more, your spidey senses, your spiritual senses. The 4 common spiritual senses are clairvoyance, that's your inner seeing. Claircognizance is your knowing. Clairsentience is your feeling. And clairaudience is your hearing. So clairvoyantly, I see heart rocks. I see repeating numbers. I have vivid dreams. I see spirit. Clairaudience, I hear mama. I hear my Jack. Mama, mama, I hear him. I hear music. Sometimes I hear the most beautiful celestial music I have ever heard. It is so incredible. The same thing happens when I listen to certain music, Bach or Beethoven. There's an artist named Tony Anderson. I love his music. It's transcendental. It takes me to a different place. I will hear different sounds. I will hear laughter. Claircognizance. I just know. Sometimes I don't know how I know. Sometimes there isn't a question that's been asked and I just know the answer. That is your claircognizance. I know when Jack is with me. I know that. And then we've got clairsentience. Clairsentience is our clear feeling. So I get goosies. I get cold. I heat up. I feel different energies. You know how you walk into a room where someone's been arguing and the energy feels different? That's what I feel. I feel that with spirit. It's like, oh, something just shifted. I feel the energy around me is a little more dense, or it's like champagne bubbles, or it's happy energy. I feel different things. And sometimes I feel it in my heart. So clairsentience is like right in our heart. We can feel that, and our body will share different experiences with us that it starts to pick up on as well. And so again, sometimes when I feel like a clenching in my gut, that's like a no. That's my body saying, no. And then when I feel yes, I feel happy. It's like literally like champagne bubbles in my heart. It really is. So in this space, I invite you to ask your child for a sign and keep asking. You will receive a sign. If you need to ask every day for a month, fine. It's okay. It depends on how your gifts work as well. So again, this is my calling. This is why I'm here. This is what I'm here to share with the world. So I have spent years and thousands of hours meditating and journaling and channeling and working with incredible masters from around the world and connecting in with my gifts and honing it, if you will. It's just like a marathon. If you were going to go run a marathon, how would you prepare? So sometimes we need to have a little more practice, but keep asking, because the more you ask, the more that you are aligning your energies with the spirit world. I'd really like a sign today. I would really like a sign today. And don't get frustrated, because when we get frustrated, we just sort of shut it all off. We just sort of shut off our willingness. We just kind of, it's kind of like, I'm going to take my toys home. I'm going home. I'm taking out my toys. I'm going home. I don't want to do this anymore. We all get frustrated, but I invite you to just sit with that if that comes up for you. Okay, I'm feeling a bit frustrated. Do I need to go sit by the river? Do I need to go meditate? Do I need to eat? Do I need to maybe do some yoga, some breath work? Do I need to go to bed early? What do I need to do so I feel hopeful and I feel excited again? And let me know when you receive your sign. I want to hear about it. Let me know. Take a picture, send me an email, leave a message. Let me know when you receive that sign, what it looks like from your child on the other side. I cannot wait. If you would like to learn a step-by-step process that will ensure that you connect with your child on the other side, again, visit my website. My Growing Up in Heaven program is now available for immediate download. It takes you through a 7-step process for you to make that connection. If you'd like to learn more, you can visit my website at livealifeyoulove.org, spelled out just like it sounds. Again, I send you so much love. I send you mountains of love. What energy, space, and consciousness can you and your body be to enjoy these energies for the rest of today? Yeah, you feel that? I send you all of my love. I'll talk to you next week. Bye for now.